Good afternoon. Glad you're with us once again. It's a busy news feed. We start with the fraud and corruption case against the former Minister of Mineral Resources, Mosebenzi Zwane. That case postponed until the beginning of November. Zwane and his two co-accused appeared in the Magistrate's court in Mangaung earlier today. The three granted bail of 10,000 rand each. The former minister was arrested early this morning along with former Sahara employee Ogeshni Govender, while Ronica Ragavan appeared again in a case from 2018. The charges are linked to the controversial dairy farm project in Freda in the Free State. Funds that were supposed to help upcoming farmers were allegedly used in corruption-related matters. Live now for the latest to that court, Pelane Phakgadi there. Pelane, good afternoon to you. What proceedings in court today?
Well, despite the fact that there was that postponement that you were talking about, there was a lot of engagements about, the bail that of which Mosebenzi Zwane, in his particular his own conditions that were trying to come up with. The quantum that of which he was presenting was 10,000 rand. The state wanted 20,000, but of course the magistrate coming on to say that 10,000 rand was just enough for Mosebenzi Zwane to get out. It was also talks around his traveling in and out of the country, and they're talking about his passport. It will be withheld by the investigating officer, and only when it's on official business, because he is a member of parliament, will he then send an itinerary, and of course through concern of the investigating officer will he then only then be allowed to travel outside the country. So he has lenient bail conditions, one could add, but since 2018 there's quite been a number of movement. As a matter of fact, the NPA through its asset forfeiture unit have went on to attach some of the Gupta-owned entities and as well as their accounts. And while that is on the other way, there has been arrests, and including bringing about Mosebenzi Zwane to book here, and they believe that they have what it takes to bring him to book. But Mosebenzi Zwane, he says he is not guilty. Take a listen to him.
What I can say is that I'm happy finally this matter has seen its light of the day in court, where I can be given a fair chance to say whatever I want to say. This matter has been tainting my name for the past 10 years outside the court of laws. Anybody saying whatever they wish to say about this matter, I think this is the right platform for people to come and say whatever they want to say. I'm ready. I'm going to cooperate with the court. We are back on the 2nd of November to ventilate this matter. So I am here. I'm happy that finally I'm here. So anybody who has anything against me, let them go in court and say what they want to say. I'll also have my say in court.
Stephen, I can tell you that there is just a lot of movement regarding this, and not only talking about the issue around the NPA, coming on to say that they believe that they are now ready. Remember in 2018 when they enrolled it, and they later withdrawn the case to say that they had enough evidence, so they needed to go back for further investigations. But here we do know that the former director of Allen's side, and that is Ogeshni Govender, and as well as Ronica Ragavan, who is a Sahara employee, or former Sahara employee, also they were in court today, and together with quite a number of other business entities and as well as individuals. The state believes that they have more than enough, and they are going to be able to convict successfully Mosebenzi Zwane and their co-accused. Take a listen to Cindy Siwesibuka.
As a state, our main initiative is to ensure that we are bringing up a case that we have strong prospects of success. However, it's not for us to then say that we have a watertight case, or for us to say that it's beyond reproach. It's for the judicial officer so inclined or so sitting in this matter that will then make that particular assessment. Definitely more arrests looming, but more particularly companies and representatives of those particular companies that will basically appear next, as well as the persons that were arraigned in 2018.
So, Pelane, we have then the arrest, the charging of Mosebenzi Zwane, sitting member of the NEC, of the ANC, if I remember correctly, a chair of a portfolio committee in Parliament as well. Are we expecting some sort of reaction? Is he going to keep to those positions? Well, the African National Congress has made it clear that once you are charged, formally charged, and with
such as serious charges that you find yourself with Mosebenzi Zwane, because it is a Schedule 5 offence that he's been charged with. That is money laundering, there is corruption as well as theft there. He may have to step aside, and I believe if he doesn't step aside, then Ace Magashule, his friend, remember them? There will be a suspension. And if that is not the case, Stephen, we do understand that the African National Congress, its NEC, once they do meet, of course, with the report from their working committee, they will be able now to entertain the matter so that they can find a decision as to what exactly are they going to be doing with an NEC member and as well as a member of parliament, of course, even high ranking on the portfolio committees in parliament that is being charged with such cases, currently now before the courts, because at the time it was provisional withdrawn, and therefore he could continue being a full-time member, not having to step aside as the African National Congress have put it through. But for now that he's being charged, the expectation from the ANC, from what we have learned over the few years, is that he will then have to step aside from all his responsibilities of the African National Congress, particularly that of the NEC, and perhaps they'll be talking now about the ANC MP positions. I'm sure he will also be withdrawn as far as that is concerned. So quite a number of repercussions to that. And whether or not he'll be able to stand in December for the NEC, if he had interest or not, I'm sure the guidelines are saying that he will not be able to contest.
Phakgadi, thank you very much indeed for that update from the High Court in Mangaung, Magistrate's Court in Mangaung today, I should say. I'm sure there'll be a lot more to come on that story.